Hey guys, OG Albino here, bringing you guys the next Draft League Twitter discussion. Today, we're going to be asking you guys if you guys could give any Pokemon one buff, whether it be move, ability, stats, what would it be? My example I gave was Shift Gear Metagross. And again, just one buff, what would you do for it? If you guys do enjoy today's Twitter discussion, be sure to drop a like on the video, as well as subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 3,000 subs. We just hit 2,400. I'd really appreciate it if you help set along that goal. And yeah, if you're interested in becoming a member as well, please go check out the little join button down there. Plenty of cool perks. Emotes, special role in Discord server, Draft League Hell, member exclusive videos, all that stuff. So definitely go check it out in the description below. And yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into it. Now, like I said, my first example is going to be something like a Shift Gear Metagross. I feel like it makes sense, makes the Pokemon better, puts it on tier with, you know, other shoot-on legendaries and things like that. I'm not going to go super in depth though, because there's a lot of responses, and I want to look at all of them. So let's go ahead and jump into it. First up, we have Amel here saying, Iron Thorns, Rock Electric to Rock Grass. 1, the name is literally right there. 2, Cradily is more of a wall than a sweeper, so Rock Grass is good, Rock Grass is good offensively, especially with Earthquake for coverage. This is interesting because it's a much better typing, right? Now, I wouldn't scream that Rock Grass is an incredible typing, but it is better than Rock Electric, which is borderline unusable. And it would be cool. Now, you would have to give this thing some kind of grass coverage, maybe giving it Power Whip. Obviously, Trailblazer's option, Seed Bomb. I don't believe Iron Thorns gets those now, so you kind of would have to give it those moves, but if you did, that'd be really cool. Next up, we have Endless here. And again, guys, the sniffles are going to be in full effect today. My allergies are killing me. I just got back from the baseball field. My Little League team had their playoff game today, and I am absolutely dying. So just keep that in mind. They're going to be bad for the first part of the video. I just walk back inside. Next up, though, is Endless Gadgets here saying, give Garchomp Dragon Dance. Which is weird, because if we said this last gen, I feel like people would scream. But I feel like Power Creep has gotten so immense, especially this gen with Terra and the Ruin Legendaries, and Palafin, and Iron Bundle, and all the Paradoxes, that Dragon Dance Garchomp probably wouldn't even be the best Pokemon in the OU tier right now, or the best Pokemon in the draft. So, I'm here for it. Give it Dragon Dance. Then, we have Kurt, and Kurt's dumbass, of course, let's scroll down and see how much we actually really have. Oh gosh, we have so many. Okay. Kurt's dumbass, of course, is never going to give a serious answer. And he says, you know what, Sableye needs water coverage. Maybe something different. Give Sableye Octazooka. Alternatively, I'm tired of my Volcarona getting memed on by Edgequake. I think what we need to resolve this is to give Volcarona, hear me out, Magnerize. He's being an idiot because these Pokemon both get these moves, and it makes me upset that they both learn these moves. Why does Volcarona get Magnerize? And what situation did Game Freak think that would ever become useful? And why does Sableye get Octazooka? Octazooka. For octopuses. Octopi. Stupid. Next up, we have Razor Claw saying, give Articuno huge power in close combat. 1, he really likes Articuno, and he really likes physical Articuno out of all the sets, so you know what, I will give it to you because it's funny. You can have those. I don't think it makes much sense, but hey, why not? Next up, we have Lars here saying, give Audino Teleport and make it a S+ tier supporter. Audino is love. Audino with Teleport would be an incredible buff. It'd be really cool to get that thing in a pivoting move to get it in and out guaranteed, as it can kind of get stuck in sometimes, you know, and you kind of are forced into more aggressive doubles, more passive wisp plays, and things like that, knowing the scary things that can come in on you. So being able to grab that momentum with Teleport could be really cool, especially on a regen pivot, get it in, get it out, get in your breaker, and click a button. It'll allow Dino to function on more like offensive playstyle, so I would be here for it. Then we have him also saying, give Garchomp DD. We gotta talk about that, that'd be cool. Also give it Jet Punch, it's literally a jet. That would be kind of cool. I'm here for it. I think that'd actually be pretty darn cool. Next up, Lars says, give Ursaring Slack Off. It fits perfectly on its great bulk. That would also mean we have Slack Off Ursaluna, which would be absolutely insane. That would be so unbelievably scary. And then Torterra deserves Shell Smash too, and Dreadnought got it. Yes, give all the turtles Shell Smash. Any Pokemon with a shell, give it Shell Smash. I'm here for it. Rotom Force would absolutely love Defog from Chexo, and just Pokemon taking away movesets is going to be the meme of this video, which is pretty funny. Dell says Gengar deserves Levitate back. I think it makes sense. I don't think it's like broken on Gengar, and I think Gersh Body is honestly in a lot of instances a little bit better. But I wouldn't be opposed to it getting it back. I don't think it considerably buffs Gengar much. I think it's just like a nostalgia thing, if anything, like Gengar being immune to ground. Which again makes sense, but I don't know. Next up, we have Addison here saying, I want Guzzler to get Slack Off or Recover, or Rotom Fan finally deserves Hurricane. Both small bet sensible buffs, but some of my favorite monster battles. I like both of these a lot. Rotom Fan got screwed out of the signature, you know, like Rotom form ability or move. And everything else got something strong. Leaf Storm, Blizzard, Overheat, Hydro Pump, then fucking Air Slash, which is a really, really weak move that can still miss. So I'm super here for it getting Hurricane. And Guzzingtons with some kind of recovery, Slack Off in particular, would be unbelievably good. That Pokemon with a Resist Berry, or that Pokemon with even like a Life Orb 3 attacks, like, recovers that, could be really nasty, and it could function a lot better and a lot more reliably defensively, so I'm here for it. Next up, we have Shadow Stitch here saying, give Darkrai pre-nerf Dark Void back. Like, come on, such an unnecessary dick move for the nerf of my mans. Also, put him in the freaking game. Yes, so if you don't know, they nerfed Dark Void back in Generation, I want to say 7, to where Smeargle can no longer learn it, which makes sense, because Smeargle was kind of like ruining VGC with it, and spread Sleep Move, which makes sense to get rid of it on that, but then they also nerfed the move, which doesn't make sense, because it's not like Darkrai is VGC legal, so all they did was make Darkrai worse for no reason at all. He is terrible in singles now, too, which is not fun, and yeah, give him Dark Void back, pre-nerf Dark Void, at least. Then we have Marcus here saying, give Ladian huge power so it can maybe see competitive usage. I think so many people say for this would be really cool. I think it also needs like another secondary typing of the Bug Flying, because on a physical attack that's kind of ass. But I would love to see it get like a Bug Fighting typing with huge power. I think that'd be pretty cool. I'm here for it. Then we have Jay Ricky here saying, give Goodra Regenerator. I think we talked about Goodra on like one of our first episodes of Fixing Your Favorites, and this might have been the buff we gave it. I'm super here for Goodra getting Regenerator. It's a slug regenerate, whatever, dude. I think it should get it too. I'm here for it. Then we have Hawaiian Shaman here saying, give Zero or Ice Punch. It probably has every other punch move, just give it Ice Punch too. Zero with Ice Punch would be incredible. Bulk up sets would go absolutely crazy. You can now finally beat those grass types, whether you be Sugar Berry or like try and show weakness policy sets where you bulk up, weakness policy pops, and you blow up any check and you're faster than everything. I'm really here for that. I like it getting Ice Punch. I think it would become like a top tier Pokemon, and you wouldn't really have to run with those weird mixed sets anymore very often. Next up is Dashing Tata saying either Drain Punch Quackable or Unaware Giratina Altered. We're going to ignore the Unaware Giratina because that's some almost any ability shit that's happening, or some Hackmon shit that's happening. There's the first sneeze of the video. There's going to be another one right here. Jeez. Okay. Drain Punch Quackball is interesting. I'm surprised it doesn't get that. And that would be really cool for like the bulky bulk up roost sets or the bulk up taunt sets. I really would like it to get that Drain Punch. I'm surprised it doesn't. That's pretty lame, I won't lie. It's weird. Okay, J-Bear here. Next up is gonna say Gen 8 Weavile. Yes, just make Gen 8 Weavile come back. Then Sandan, Play Rough / good Electric Stab for Coco. Now, I think it has pretty okay Electric Stab. There's not really any better boost unless you gave it Plasma Fist, which would be pretty crazy to give it Plasma Fist, but Play Rough for sure, and I would love for it to get Close Combat. I'd love to have, like, the Leaks Coco we had in Generation 8, where it, like, had Play Rough, Rising Voltage, and Close Combat, and it was, like, the best Pokemon in draft for, like, a month or two. I'm dying. I'm so sorry, guys. But, it was, like, for, like, 2 or 3 months, it was, like, the best Pokemon in the format, because we thought the leak said that it was going to be getting those moves. Same thing with Bulu getting Grassy Glide and, Play Rough and Close Combat and things like that. Which it unfortunately did not get, and those Pokemon would be incredible. Game Freak were cowards, and they didn't give them the moves that they deserved to get. Next up, we have Teleport for Audino, Parting Shot for Weavile, and Mystical Fire for Magearna. Those last two are really interesting. We already talked about Teleport for Audino, but I like Parting Shot for Weavile. Forces very specific switches, and Parting Shot out. It's a nice little buff, especially considering it lost knockoff and triple axle right now. A Mystical Fire for Magearna, giving it some kind of fire coverage is pretty darn incredible. Also on Calm Mindsets, lowering the special attack, again, boosting yourself up. Like, I think that's really cool, and it makes sense thematically, too. I'm here for it. I kind of already talked about it, but Slicey Salty here is going to say Tapu Bulu needs Play Rough. I agree. It sucks drafting Bulu right now, and I think Bulu would be so much more viable if it was a fairy type that didn't lose to dragons, you know? And it just does lose to dragons, and that's really unfortunate. It makes it to where I will never draft Bulu again, I don't think, until it gets Play Rough, or some kind of physical fairy stab. So, I definitely do agree. Bulu needs some kind of love, especially physical fairy stab. For sure. I don't even need Grassy Glide on it. I just need Play Rough. Okay, next up, Dax here is going to say give Mimikyu Poltergeist. I would also be happy with Last Respect so long as we can use it without Last Respect instead of Ubers. No, not heard that would work for draft, though. Also, I'd love to see Sharpness on Absol and later gens / DLC. Maybe you could get Sacred Sword, too. The Absol one is definitely really cool. I would love to see that. It would make a lot of sense. It's got a fucking scythe on his head. The Mimikyu Poltergeist thing is really, really interesting because I think it would actually give it some kind of viability. I feel like Mimikyu is a Pokemon that was like very specifically designed with like having a Z move in mind, because without some kind of, you know, inherent boost behind it, even with the Swords Dance, it is so unbelievably weak for a Pokemon that's the whole idea is setting up with that disguise up, getting up a Swords Dance, and then cleaning through a team. It's incredibly weak. You can't run the Focus Sash sets anymore. They're like Focus Sash plus Disguise because of the Gen 8 nerf to Disguise that would let you kind of like, you know, take off a little tick of health, because it was obviously very good in VGC. But from a singles perspective, this Pokemon is incredibly underwhelming, and I would love to see it get some kind of like strong Ghost Stab, because Shadow Claw just is not cutting it. No, it is not. Okay, next up we have Sato Wudo here saying, very minor bust, but U-turn on Zangoose feels so much cooler than Baton Pass. I'm here for that, yeah, for sure. Also, I'd love to see, Chili Reception on some other things. Maybe some Telepathy Mons. It's about a bad joke. I mean, I think there's plenty of Mons that could learn Chili Reception, and I think it would be really, really cool. Because it's like, it lets Hail offense, or I guess Snow offense, be facilitated by non-Ice types, which is awesome because Ice types typically suck. So you're able to use a Pokemon like Slowking or G-King to Chili Reception to get in that Hail Sweeper, whereas they're much better pivots and can, you know, get that off a little bit better. Next up, we have Bread Pudding saying, Iron Bundle with Surfer Skull. Somebody has missed one too many Hydro Pumps, and I do not blame you. I agree. I think this is the one thing that super held me back from drafting Bundle myself, is the lack of reliable physical or special Water Stab. The fact that you have to run like Terra Water Terra Blast a lot of the time is a bit unfortunate, so I'm definitely here for getting Surfer Skull. The Skull probably doesn't make sense because it's an Ice type, but give it Surf at least. Like, there's no way it can't Surf. If you can Hydro Pump, you can Surf. Next up, we have Mark here saying, give Mega Pidgeot, or I'm assuming Mega Pidgeot, Hyper Voice or Boom Burst. I mean, regular Pidgeot with it wouldn't be that much better because Pidgeot is terrible. But if we give Mega Pidgeot Hyper Voice or Boom Burst, that's going to be incredible. Now it can finally break through, you know, those bulky flying resist like the Zapdoses and things like that of the world. Boom Burst would be nuts on Mega Pidgeot. You have no idea how broken that would be, but yeah, definitely cool. Next up, we have Sharpie Plays here saying, Swords Dance Sharpio, it's my favorite mon, so I'm biased of it. That'd be really cool. Like, I'm like Focus Sash variants and like Focus Sash lead speed boost Swords Dance sets could be really, really threatening, or like maybe under screens or something like that, or forcing a switch. Swords Dance Torpedo could be really, really scary. I don't know how he's holding those swords to dance with, but hey, if he gets them up, I'm here for it. So, yeah. Next up, we have Togedemaru, or Nanigans, sorry, saying Togedemaru having spikes would be awesome. It's already got great low tier support, ability to annoy moves. Just imagine now dealing with potential spikes. Yes, I love that. It does not make sense that this spiky shielding Pokemon with Iron Barbs cannot set up spikes when everything else in the world can. You would have thought they would have given it to it in Generation 8 when so many different things got spikes, but they didn't, and that's really, really lame. So I 100% agree. Give Togepi these spikes. It'd be a great low tier steel type spiker. You get it on the fairy type, you force it out, you get up a spike, and you're doing good. So that's obviously awesome. And obviously you have U-turn and Wish and Nuzzle, Zing Zap and Iron Head and all that fun stuff. So why not? Next up we have Wagon Fruit here saying, give Revavroom Flare Blitz for fun. It would make sense. I'm here for it. Also give it Vacuum Wave. Not that it would be good, but fucking come on, Game Freak. And I would like to showcase this because I saw this when he tweeted this. Wait, Varoom is not a vacuum. That's what made me think this. Ignore my ass, which I thought was really funny because Varoom vacuum, I guess, is what he thought, not Varoom, like the noise and the whole fucking car engine thing. So I thought that was funny and I had to showcase it. But I'm here for the Flare Blitz one. Next up, we have Orange saying, give Bronzong Thunderwave. Yes, please give it Recover. That would be sick. Give it like Roar or something like that too. I guess Roar with like the bell chiming or something like that could make sense too. I'm super here for it. Give Bronzong more staying power with Recover. It would become like a top 5 steal in draft with Recover, by the way. I hope you know. It would be incredible. Thunderwave just slow things out. It would make sense. I think every early Gen Mon and their mother gets Thunderwave. So why shouldn't Bronzong get Thunderwave, to be completely honest? So I'm here for that. And then Roar, a little bit more of a stretch, but not too bad. Next up, we have Seth here saying, give Tauros Swords Dance in a wider range in terms of move pool. Also, with Paldean and Tauros, why do they not have Guts? Now, I think Guts would be really cool in the Paldean and Tauros is over like Kudchu. Kudchu's kind of ass. I don't know if they have another ability outside of that. But as in terms of Tauros with like move pool, I think its move pool is incredibly wide as a Gen 1 Pokemon. I do agree that it should get Sword Stance though, because every Gen 1 Mon and their mother gets Sword Stance. I think it'd be awesome. The Paldean Tauros get Bulk Up, so giving regular Tauros like Sword Stance is an alternative on top of its faster speed tier and things like that could be really cool. So I'm super here for that. I think its move pool wise offensively is really good. Give Shaman Mystical Fire System to Shobi here so it can finally hit stuff like Ferrothorn or Corviknight. I think that would be cool. I wonder if it would work with it being a grass type. I don't know if there's any grass types that learn Mystical Fire currently. I'm actually going to check that. Let me pull this to the side. I'm really curious. I actually don't know. Team Builder. Let's search up grass type and Mystical Fire. Let's make it not Dex too. Sorry, grass type, Mystical Fire. So the only one that does get it is Gourgeist, which I guess makes sense as it being like a, ghost type. But yeah, I don't know. That'd be cool though. I'd be here for it. It'd be a great buff for it. I'm here for it. Next up, we have Josh here saying, give Goodra Recover so I can finally play a more defensive role, especially for the Hisuian form. Yes, and again, this Recover, Regenerate, all this stuff makes sense with how it works as like a Pokemon, like what it's based on, and like it's like, very slimy, sluggy like aspect of it. I think it makes sense, and I think it's really done that it has no way of, keeping itself healthy, regenerating, recovering, anything like that. Next up, we have Jack here saying, my fave Infernape with Drought would be absolutely insane. I mean, yeah, if we're throwing off Drought boosted Flare Blitzes and Fire Blast and Overheats, this Pokemon would be absolutely nuts. It would be really strong. So, you know what, that'd be cool. Okay, next up we have Caden here saying, give Frostmoth Roost. It wouldn't be insane since Frostmoth has a horrible typing, but I've actually had a lot of fun using it in the past, and this would give it a boost and make it somewhat viable. This, plus it being able to Terra, though, would actually make it a low-key threat. I played in a league where one of the lower divisions, I don't remember who, but there was a guy who drafted Frostmoth, made it his Terra captain, it was Terra All, it was free Terra on it, and he had like 25 kills with Frostmoth that season. It's actually a really big slept-on threat. It's a great ability in Ice Scales too. I think with Roost it would be really cool, so I'm here for it. Next up, we have Fabio here saying, give Snorlax Slack Off. It fits so fucking good. It does. He's like the sleeping Pokemon. He's a normal type. If you gave him Slack Off, though, again, he would be unbelievably good. I mean, no special attacker would thrive. Fuck a Blissey. I'm just running Lax because I can actually do damage back. Next up, we have Marcelo here saying, it might be basic, give Roost to my boy Empoleon. I wonder if Empoleon's going to keep Roost in the transfer from PLA to Scarlet and Violet, because it did get Roost in Pokemon Legend Arceus. If it keeps that, I've played a couple draft leagues that use PLA movesets, and it was really good with Roost, so I'm here for that one. 100 base speed Rampardo's time to kill, says Stellar Seastar. I don't know if it makes sense thematically, but you sure would kill a lot of things. Then lastly, we have the Pickle Nugget, the goat saying, give Bulu Grassy Glide or Play Rough. My boy needs it so badly. It would be so good, so then I can draft it and not have everyone make fun of me for picking it. We said this before. Yes, 100%. I personally just want Play Rough. Grassy Glide would be really cool as well. Give it both, to be completely honest. I don't know. And then just give Rillaboom back his moves too. Who cares? But yeah, that's going to be our thread on, what you would buff. Let me know what you would buff in the comments below. Who knows, maybe one of these Pokemon will be featured in a Fixing Your Favorites in the future. Check out that playlist if you haven't already. We have a whole series dedicated to like really in-depth making terrible Pokemon really good. So go ahead and check that out if you want as well. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and again, become a channel member. It really helps me out. There's a little join button down there. I'd appreciate it. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Later.